You're not about that life, champ.
Oh, I am about that life. No,
just like to
I will
flex your
get
muscles.
crazy up in here. You like movies? We'll make a movie.
Wrestlers making the jump to film and TV shows is nothing new. Many big personalities have escaped the cage and entered a new ring of the entertainment industry, but very few have been able to become anything other than a generic action star. While one or two names may come to mind as top contenders for breaking the mold, there's only one man who truly deserves the championship belt.
And his name is John Cena!
Before we dive into this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Nerdstalgic so you don't miss out on our latest releases. WrestleMania 28 was the peak of John Cena's career, or so many fans thought at the time. With hindsight, we can look back and see Cena's persona for the camp that it is, but during his height in the WWE, he was deadly serious. After 2 decades of dominating the ring in jean shorts and knee pads, Cena is thriving as an actor in high-profile movies and television shows, and he's doing it in a way that none of his contemporaries have been able to achieve.
How could we cry on cue?
Poke yourself directly in the eyes. It actually makes for a good emotional cry.
It's an undeniable fact that most wrestlers turned actors suffer from typecasting. A wrestler's physique, stunt prowess, and ability to deliver cheesy one-liners lend themselves to action movies, or action-oriented roles at the very least. This means most wrestlers end up just playing themselves under a thinly stylized veneer. Or there's no veneer at all, and they quite literally play themselves.
It's wrestling legend Hulk Hogan?
I will continue to dominate wrestling.
Directors don't tend to ask anything else of these performers, which has resulted in some very poor choices. The Rock and his many copy and pasted action hero roles are the best example of this phenomenon, while some wrestlers have found ways to lean into their inherent strengths that feel natural on screen. Andre Rene Roussimoff, or Andre the Giant, got his role as Fezzik in The Princess Bride thanks to his impressive height, and he subsequently spent much of the film using his superior size to his or Vizzini's advantage.
You were not hired for your brains, you hippopotamic landmass!
And then there's Jesse Ventura, who found himself playing Blaine in Predator due to his massive stature. Everyone in that movie had to measure up to Arnold Schwarzenegger, with Blaine's dialogue in particular being chock full of catchphrases.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
These men perfectly embodied the characters they were cast as, and yet, despite the fair quality of their performances, they were one-off roles that didn't exactly lead to massive Hollywood careers. The reality is that a wrestler's physicality only gets them in the door. It's up to them to differentiate themselves from the lineup from that point on. Even the best of them struggle to do this, and it's what gives John Cena an edge. No, not that edge.
Oh, what a clothesline! Down goes Edge!
While Cena did spend much of his early career falling into the trap of playing himself or a paint-by-numbers action hero, he would carve out a niche in some more comedic roles beginning in the 2010s. This trend would ultimately be a net positive for Cena. However, it unfortunately started with his stint as Fred's dad in the horrendously awful Fred movies.
You gotta look at yourself and say, my time is now! Are you with me?
I'm with you, Dad!
You gotta fire up!
And it would continue in trashy movies like the Daddy's Home duology. Associating yourself with this kind of bottom-of-the-barrel comedy would be enough to sink most people's careers. But even when the movie surrounding him is terrible, he remains a likable on-screen presence. A lot of this is due to his ability to fully commit to a role, whether that role doesn't deserve commitment or not. It's charming to see him put his all into a performance, especially when the quality of the film is actively fighting against him.
Roger, you can't go out in that storm.
That was an alternate for Season 3 Ice Road Truckers. I'll be fine.
That was our best season.
That ability to break through shoddy source material would be recognized at a progressively larger scale as he landed roles in mainstream comedies like 2015's Trainwreck and 2018's Blockers. While both saw mixed reviews from audiences, critics were kinder to the movies and John Cena's performances in them. Better still was his role as Agent Burns in Bumblebee, which used Cena's muscle-bound jarhead aesthetic for both serious action and lighthearted jokes. This showed audiences that he could play a more layered character when given the opportunity, and it almost certainly opened some doors for him moving forward.
They literally call themselves Decepticons. That doesn't set off any red flags?
Enough!
This approach eventually led him to scoring the role of Peacemaker in James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie in 2021, which began a whole new era of his career. While it's true that on the surface, Peacemaker is just another wrestler under a thinly stylized veneer, there's a lot more nuance to the character than the metal helmet might suggest. The most memorable bits of his performance in the movie are, admittedly, the action-oriented scenes. But there's a vulnerability to the character that he plays with a shocking amount of competence. Here was a character that was violent, funny, tormented, and conflicted above all else. And he was being played by a pro wrestler who performs bad raps about his opponents.
Yo, it doesn't matter, kid, cause I ripped your nose off. I could batter you naked with no clothes off.
While the depth of Peacemaker's character was only hinted at in the 2.5-hour runtime of the film, it would be explored much more thoroughly in the titular TV series which aired on HBO Max in 2022. There are a lot of moments of genuine heartbreak and real emotion throughout the 8-episode run. The way Cena plays his traumatic flashback in the classroom scene was an especially pleasant surprise.
Do you have an origin story?
Any more questions?
It's that combination of quiet vulnerability and schoolyard insults that makes Cena's Peacemaker so much fun to watch, and it's part of why he's looked on so positively by audiences today. Most wrestlers turned actors like to rely on loud noises, big movements, and quippy dialogue to sell their performances. Cena's stint as Peacemaker has demonstrated that he's just as comfortable playing still and silent when the need arises.
Why kill me?
Because I'm thorough. Sorry, kid.
That's not to say Cena's career has been entirely made of gold since finding himself in the DC universe. Remaining a part of the ludicrous Fast and Furious franchise was certainly a choice, and 2023's Freelance was a definite low blow. But in an interview with the Bleacher Report, Freelance's director Pierre Morel hits on why John Cena's career can continue to take a beating and get right back up for the next project. John Cena, who we all know as that massive beast of a man with an amazing physique, is hilarious. He's a comedian. He's a natural-born entertainer.
Very inspiring. I'm just gonna move the delusions of saving your people to the back burner and not getting us killed to the front burner.
Cena's strength is in his comedy and likability, not his physique. With a little humility and some comedic chops, Cena managed to turn himself into one of the very few successful wrestlers turned actors. He might even be the most successful. While other wrestlers play the same role over and over, Cena has never been afraid to try something new. People who don't follow his wrestling career at all can now call themselves fans of John Cena, thanks to his more recent work. Will he be remembered as one of the most brilliant actors of our generation? No, but he's living proof that wrestlers don't need to trap themselves in the action hero pigeonhole if they want to find a place in the entertainment industry. The same can't be said for the likes of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or most other actors in his position. For now, John Cena reigns supreme as the heavyweight champion of Hollywood. And well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching this video all the way through to the end. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Nerdstalgic for more content like this.